Part 2: The Incentive Machine. Chapter 3: How Systems Reward the Wrong Behavior. 1. The Hidden Engine. Every system runs on fuel. For democracies, that fuel isn't oil or electricity, it's incentive. Incentives tell politicians, bureaucrats, and lobbyists what counts as success. The trouble is that the metrics of success, votes, headlines, donations, often have only a passing relationship to public good. Ethical drift rarely begins with evil intent. It begins when the scoreboard rewards the wrong play. 2. The Election Cycle Trap. Modern elections compress leadership into four-year bursts. Economists call this short-termism, the tendency to prefer quick wins over durable outcomes. A minister faced with two policies, one that lowers unemployment next quarter and another that improves education in 10 years, will almost always pick the first. Voters reward immediacy, history rewards patience. Research from the London School of Economics found that OECD governments cut long-term infrastructure spending by an average of 20% in the year before elections. It isn't malice, it's math. The calendar dictates conscience. 3. The Party Discipline Paradox. Party discipline was designed to keep coalitions coherent. In practice, it turns parliaments into echo chambers. A backbencher who defies the whip risks losing committee assignments, nomination, even employment. The result is moral outsourcing. Members vote not on belief but on survival. Loyalty becomes a proxy for integrity. Political scientist Samara Clark calls it the social identity of partisanship. Belonging outweighs thinking. Over time, dissent, democracy's oxygen, thins out. 4. The donor economy. Campaigns are expensive. Where public financing is weak, private money fills the void. Donors buy not direct outcomes but access, the most tradable commodity in politics. Transparency International notes that Canada, the US, and the UK each spend billions yearly on lobbying, much of it legal but opaque. The issue isn't envelopes of cash, it's the quiet promise of reciprocity. When access equals influence, ethical calculus shifts, helping the many yields votes, helping the few yields funding. The system chooses solvency over service. 5. Media attention as currency. In the digital era, attention is power. Politicians learn quickly that a sharp one-liner on social media reaches more voters than a nuanced policy brief. The attention economy converts outrage into capital. Algorithms amplify conflict because conflict keeps users scrolling. A study by the Reuters Institute found that emotionally charged posts from elected officials receive 5 times more engagement than neutral ones. The rational response to that data is irrational behavior: escalate drama to survive. Thus the incentive machine spins faster. Media rewards spectacle, parties reward visibility, voters receive theater instead of thought. 6. Bureaucratic comfort zones. Inside ministries, a subtler incentive dominates: risk avoidance. Bureaucrats rise by not failing, not by innovating. An official who signs off on a new program risks scandal if it stumbles. One who delays it faces no headlines. The rational career choice is stasis. Public administration scholar Donald Savoy calls this blame avoidance culture. Over time, institutions evolve antibodies against experimentation. Failure is punished, mediocrity protected. 7. Groupthink and the biology of belonging. Human beings are tribal animals. Neuroscientists have shown that exclusion activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Within power structures, conformity soothes, dissent burns. Groupthink, first documented by Irving Janis after the Bay of Pigs fiasco, explains how intelligent people make collectively foolish decisions. They value harmony over honesty. Parliaments, boards, and cabinets are especially vulnerable because hierarchy intensifies the cost of standing alone. The incentive to belong can eclipse the duty to warn. 8. How the machine self-perpetuates. Short-term cycles demand quick optics. Donor dependency demands gratitude. Media incentives demand performance. Bureaucratic caution demands invisibility. Each piece reinforces the others. Together they form what policy theorist Mark Moore calls a self-referential legitimacy loop. Institutions justify their behavior by the very pressures they created. 9. Breaking the loop. Reform doesn't require saints, it requires new scoreboards. Lengthen horizons, multi-year budget commitments tied to outcomes, not election dates. Empower independence, ranked choice voting and open primaries weaken rigid party control. Public funding of campaigns reduces private leverage. Transparency dashboards, real-time disclosure of meetings, donations and spending. Reward experimentation, civil service metrics that count successful innovation, not just absence of scandal. Where incentives shift, behavior follows. 10. Closing reflection. People often say power corrupts, but the evidence suggests it's the rules of reward that corrupt. Systems teach their servants what counts as victory, servants adapt. If we design systems that pay in truth instead of applause, patience instead of panic, courage instead of compliance, integrity will no longer be exceptional, it will be efficient. The machine will still hum, but the engine will finally be tuned to something worthy, service as success. End of Chapter 3. The Incentive Machine. How Systems Reward the Wrong Behavior. That one explored measurable consequences, economic losses, social fragmentation, and the emotional toll on citizens and civil servants alike. Next chapter picks up where the incentive machine left off, showing what happens when a democracy's moral engine runs on cynicism instead of trust. Part 2. The Incentive Machine. Chapter 4.